On the post-Hell in a Cell edition of Monday Night Raw tonight, a new member of the Judgment Day was to be announced. A lot of people were suspecting that maybe it could have been Corey Graves in a surprise return to the ring. Maybe it was Tommaso Ciampa, and maybe it could have been Finn Balor, but what was to come was completely unexpected. And it was at this moment that Edge knew he as Edge, alongside his two henchmen and henchwoman, in Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley, came out to the ring, and the first line that Rhea Ripley stated was that control is just an illusion. And that's exactly what it was, but the leader in Edge had no idea what was to come in just a few short moments. As the new member of the group was announced and introduced, so to speak, Finn Balor's music would hit and he would come down to the ring shaking Edge's hand. However, that handshake was not only a transfer of power, but a transfer of leadership from the old leader in the Rated R Superstar Edge to the new leader now in the Prince, Finn Balor. Soon after, Damian Priest would go on to state that the Judgment Day finally knew what they needed to do to be as powerful as they can be. They finally knew what they needed in order to stop being held back. And the only thing holding back the Judgment Day was you, as he looked straight into the eyes of Edge, and Edge knew that his days were numbered. Immediately following this, Damian Priest and the new leader of the Judgment Day now, in the Prince Finn Balor, who is now a heel, which is exactly what we need, would go on to brutally assault Edge as Rhea Ripley watched on for her own sinister enjoyment. Balor and Priest would beat Edge from pillar to post all around the arena, culminating with a razor's edge through the announce table, and then to just add a cherry on top of the beautiful storytelling that is going on inside this faction, a concerto to the skull of Edge in the center of the ring. The same concerto that Edge landed to the skull of the phenomenal AJ Styles in their build-up to the match at WrestleMania 37. The same concerto that kicked off Edge's heel turn and the transfer of the Rated R Superstar into this new character. So it's just an extra cherry, like we said, on top of the cupcake of the beautiful storytelling going on in the build and now evolvement of this faction. Finn Balor is now a heel. Finn Balor can now be the Prince, but I believe this will be a more powerful heel than the Prince ever was in NXT, circa 2019 and 2020, when he would become the NXT champion again by defeating Adam Cole. I believe this is perfect for Finn Balor, and it's everything that he needed to become as good as we know Finn Balor can be. Is it the same case as Roman Reigns, where being a face was holding back your true potential? I believe it could be, and that's something that we're going to have to go on to find out. But he did great work as a heel and as a Prince in NXT and as the NXT champion, and I expect now, being the leader of the Judgment Day, the new leader, alongside Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest, this faction is going to go to heights it never thought it could before, and it's also going to bring Finn Balor's career to exactly where it should be. And even if it might be a slow burn style of build, I believe Finn Balor will go to the top. And he should have always been at the top, in my opinion. I love this story, I love the evolvement, and I love the extra layers that we continue to get. And Finn Balor, being the new leader, is going to lead into a feud with the former leader in Edge. Edge always said he wanted to work with Finn Balor, and we got to see a glimpse of that last night at Hell in a Cell in the 6-man tag with Liv Morgan, AJ Styles, and Finn Balor versus Edge, Priest, and Ripley. I believe Balor and Edge may compete at the next pay-per-view, which is Money in the Bank, but whenever they do lock horns, it's going to be not only great in terms of a match sense, but also great in terms of storytelling, which is everything pro wrestling needs and everything that pro wrestling has to have in order to be the best that it could possibly be for the fans at home and in attendance. I cannot wait to see where this story goes. Will they add more members to the Judgment Day? How big will Finn Balor get? Can Finn Balor become a world champion? Will Roman Reigns cross paths with any of these Judgment Day members along the way? Will one of the Judgment Day members become Mr. or Mrs. Money in the Bank? Only time will tell, but everybody pays the toll. And I guess the best way I can end this video is by saying that Judgment Day is upon us.